Okay, so Coke Studio just dropped
Yeah, just now.
just
Just
now.
now. What a
So
luck.
yeah, so we were sitting down to record, and if we were like half an hour early, we wouldn't have caught it. So first of all, Pratna, it's I'm still listening to it, and it's still buzzing. It was so
Yeah.
awesome.
I think we were discussing it a couple of days ago as well, that even just the song, if you don't just listen to the vocals, the music in the background is just such beautiful that you can really listen to the instrumental version of Pratna as well. It's so beautiful arrangement.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I would have loved an instrumental version. I mean, not that the vocals weren't as good;
Yeah,
they were amazing. The lyrics were amazing, but I mean, the instrumental would have been a hit as well. So,
absolutely.
Pratna has set a huge bar, but I am super excited to get into this. Should we?
Yeah. Yeah, should we read some description
Yeah.
before starting it so that we may get the context? Okay, so it's a ghazal.
Mm, it's a yeah. Okay. Let's do it
Yes.
afterwards.
Yeah,
Let's see
okay.
what we get.
All right.
Okay. Let's see.
All right.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
Ready? One, two, three. Start.
Coke Studio Bangla, Season 1.
Hmm. Is it a Spanish guitar?
Okay. Yeah. Latin, some
Yeah.
Latin vibes, no?
Hmm.
Definitely.
বাগিচায় বুলবুলি তুই ফুল শাখাতে দিশনে আজি দোল
Contrast.
আজো তার ফুল কলি দে ঘুম টুটেনি তন্দ্রাতে বিলুল বাগিচায় বুলবুলি তুই ফুল শাখাতে দিশনে আজি দোল আজো তার ফুল কলি দে ঘুম টুটেনি তন্দ্রাতে বিলুল
Saxophone.
Sweet voice.
Yeah, yeah, very nice voice.
Look at him. Look at him.
He's
Nice
into his
boy.
element.
Enjoying it.
Yeah.
Bagichay Bulbul.
হায় রিক্ত শাখায় উত্তরিবায় ঝুরছে নিশিদিন
I think he's classically trained singer.
He's amazing. Ooh, warm,
আজো
warm.
হায় রিক্ত শাখায় উত্তরিবায় ঝুরছে নিশিদিন আসেনি দক্ষিণে হাওয়া গজল গাওয়া
Hi, hi, hi.
মৌমাছি বিপুল আসেনি দক্ষিণে হাওয়া গজল গাওয়া মৌমাছি বিপুল বাগিচায় বুলবুলি তুই ফুল শাখাতে দিশনে আজ দোল
The background vocals sound like Bulbul.
Yeah.
That guy killed it. Ah, my guy.
কবে সে ফুলকুমারী ঘুমটা চিরি আসবে ভাই
part of our way to reveal ourselves.
কবে সে ফুলকুমারী ঘুমটা চিরি আসবে বাইরে শিশিরের স্পর্শ
Oof, the kiss of dew will break their sleep.
I mean, it's written by the national poet of Bangladesh, so you can imagine the lyrics.
স্পর্শ সুখে ভাঙবে রে ঘুম রাঙবে রে কপল বাগিচায় বুলবুলি তুই
I love his voice.
কৃষ্ণে
Kazi, man.
আজি তোর
Beautiful. Wow. Another Bulbul. Nice.
It, oh wow. The contrast is really good.
Wow. This guy. Cool. Real magic. Real magic. Okay, you go first.
All right, so
I have too much energy that I need to vent. Like,
yeah, I can see that. But yeah, I mean, it was a beautiful, beautiful song. I would listen it again and again to understand the lyrics better. Because right now I was looking at the subtitles, trying to focus on that as well. But the lines were really, really beautiful because it was written by national poet of Bangladesh, as the description mentions, and it's a love story between the bulbul and the songbird, as the description mentions. And for me, I think the feel of the song was a bit jazzy, as you can see the guitar strings when they started in the beginning. They were more into the Spanish and Latin zone, and yeah, it had complete jazz feel. The dancers, or not the dancers, the backing vocals, they were dressed in similar way to demonstrate a jazzy feel, and it really went along with the song as well. I'll come to the vocalist later, but I'll just hand it over to you to understand your sentiments.
so, okay. As the song started, as we said that we got the Latin vibes,
Yeah.
the Latin music vibes, the Spanish. The music usually have that kind of beginnings. But then on top of that, the guy started to ghazal. And in my wildest imagination, I wouldn't imagine that, right? That they two would go
Yeah,
together.
absolutely.
But they did. They did. Uh, whoever did that, um, man, there are so many things. What I loved, I mean, there's so many things that I loved. All of the musicians, first of all, the way they were enjoying it, that also kind of came out in their
Yeah,
music,
true.
right? It was about a bulbul in the garden, and I kept thinking the background vocals, first of all, to begin with, they sounded like bulbul, and then that the girl came, Nandita,
Yeah.
yeah, and her voice sounded like bulbul, and it was so fitting. Whoever chose the vocalist for this
Absolutely.
song,
Perfect,
So fitting,
perfect choice
so
for the
fitting,
song. They
right?
were complementing each other pretty well. And the surprising thing is that the girl, she was singing on lower note and it was so beautifully handled.
It was so well.
And I don't know, does the guy remind you of someone from Pakistan music industry?
What I kept thinking when I was hearing him, the warmth
Hmm.
in his
Yeah,
voice, so the
yeah,
contrast was amazing. Where at one hand you have Bulbul, right, who's singing in a very
yeah,
bulbulish voice, and then on the other hand, the guy, his voice was so warm, it was like the garden was
absolutely.
singing.
The
Although
honeydew.
probably the song narrative, yeah, the song narrative might not
Yeah,
be that, but for me, this is how I interpreted that the guy, the voice was of the garden. Although the ghazal itself
yeah.
tells a different story, and I will come to that. But yeah, who does he remind
You
you?
remember the famous band Fusion, right? And Shafkat Amanat
Yeah,
Ali
yeah,
was
yeah,
replaced by the other singer, Ramesh, and
yeah, 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 yeah,
they came
yeah.
up with the first song Neend Na Aaye. So
Nina,
his voice was so close to his voice and so soothing, and
soothing.
I mean his appearance as well. If any of the Bangladeshi people are watching this video, if they go
Yeah, yeah,
exactly, if they
curly
go and
hairs.
watch the video of Neend Na
Yeah.
Aaye by Fusion, they would definitely relate. And his voice was very similar to his the tone, the softness and the husk in his voice, the warmth in his voice was pretty similar, and it was really amazing.
So lyrics. I am just like exploring to talk about it. First of all, I usually don't try to focus on
Yeah.
lyrics in foreign music where the language is not something that I understand. So I was trying to focus on the music, the musicians, the vocalists, their chemistry between them. By the way, that
Yeah.
was amazing as well. Like the eye contacts and the cues and all that was very sweet. But I could catch here and there some verses. And another thing that the ghazal, the poetry, it has a
Hmm.
complete different impact in the original language, right? In Bengali, the ghazal
Completely
would have a
different. Yeah.
completely different impact. It would hit your chest like a bomb, right? But the English translation was so
Yeah.
amazing. I got a line that the kiss of the dew will wake you up. So they were talking. As far as I understood the song, the bulbul was trying to wake
Flowers.
up
Yeah.
the flowers
Yeah.
during the winters, and they were saying that he was saying that the spring is coming and you should wake up,
Yeah.
and the bees are waiting and everyone's waiting. And
Can I
can I
wake you
wake it
up?
up?
Yeah.
Can I wake you up? And yeah, and maybe the dew will wake you up.
Yeah.
It was
It
so
embodied, I
beautiful.
think, the pain and longing as well, um, as far as I understood. So, I mean, not the bitter pain, but the sweet pain that the bulbul was experiencing when trying to basically convince the flower or the bud. That's what I interpreted. I might be wrong, but I'll go through the lyrics once again because I wasn't that focused on the lyrics at that time.
Mm.
But yeah,
The music was so playful. The music was so playful, and then on top of that, the lyrical delivery, even though it was a ghazal, it was
yeah,
also playful. So probably that changed the narrative of the song
yeah,
completely. What happened was, I mean, it might be originally written as a painful or of a longing feeling, but here it was a very
yeah.
teasing one. Like the bulbul was just waiting to wake up the flowers, and there's some relationship between them of love or whatever, of some imagination. But yeah, the delivery completely
Absolutely.
changed the narrative. Loved it. By the way, the guy with the grin on the
Yeah.
percussions,
His energy
it was so cool.
his
So
energy was
cool.
actually really great. Yeah, and I think tabla kicked in at 3 minute mark or 3.5 minute mark. It was also a very good introduction in the mid as well because it didn't really overshot shadowed anything. The instruments kept playing, but he just switched the percussions to tabla at that stage. It was really
Yeah.
good.
again, like in previous tracks, like with Nasa Nasik and Pratna, the the arrangement of instruments
Yeah.
and the mixing of the sounds of the instruments is amazing. Very well done. I mean, you could, if you want to, you would probably hear each instrument separately, and you can like
Yeah,
separate it out
absolutely.
in your mind, right? The guitars and
I
all
would
that. It was
also
amazing.
actually go through the
Loved it.
house band because some of the guys like the one who started with the acoustic, I can recall him because I think he was also in the
Hmm.
Prarthana song. So would also like to see their profile. Probably they have been playing for some band, some prominent band in past as well, because
Hmm.
they really look like amazing, a bunch of musicians.
Probably the house band would remain the same
Yeah,
as usually happens in Coke Studio. But if that is not the case, please someone tells us. Um, Someone also told us that there might be 10
yeah,
songs in this season. So that's great for us, right? And all the fans. So, but so far, this season has been great. I was just thinking that the season 14 of Coke Studio Pakistan just ended and it was a masterclass. And then this started, and this is
yeah,
nothing short of amazing. This is by
absolutely.
no means uh,
Yeah.
not up to the
I mean,
mark.
we were craving
So
for
amazing.
something good after Coke Studio season 14 of Pakistan, and I think the Coke Studio Bangla kicked in at the right time. So we can soothe our ears. We don't really miss the Coke Studio Pakistan season 14.
Yeah, I hope this continues like this happens, and then once it stops. By the way, by the way, I also discovered another great Bangladeshi
Mm-hmm.
music record label or a group. I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
it is. It's a company. It's called Khan Bangla TV, and they also have masterpieces. So, what Prarthana and Nasir Nasik and Coke Studio did for me, for us probably, is they introduced us to
Absolutely. Absolutely.
amazing Bangladeshi music. We were completely ignorant of it, completely oblivious of it, right? We I mean, you are usually pleasantly surprised how amazing
Yeah.
foreign music can be, and from places that you don't usually go to, your mind doesn't usually go to. But oh my
It
God,
has been really, yeah. I mean, I know in last video I was talking about Mizan Rahman, the vocalist, and many people commented that he has been part of a metal band in Bangladesh, Warfaze, I think. So we can explore his work as well. And he reminded me of someone who I have heard, and his name is James, one of the singer I have heard it in Bollywood. He has sung a couple of songs in Bollywood, and they were masterpiece, honestly. So I can imagine that the musicians or the music setup in Bangladesh is also very rich, which we haven't explored yet, and we would love to explore on this channel.
yeah! If someone can get us their favorite James songs, their favorite Mizan songs, and maybe Nandita and Ritu Raj,
Absolutely.
we would love that. Okay, so I have
Hmm.
another thing for you
Yeah.
that I've been teasing you. Another song that I've been teasing you all day. Let's go to that
Definitely.
one. All right. Okay. So context a little bit. I found another
Hmm.
amazing Bangla track, and I didn't share with him that I wanted his reaction
Yeah.
on camera for the first time. So we are gonna go there and record it. We will try to add that link in the description or in the video end at the end of the video. So
Catch you
catch it
there.
there.
See ya.
All right. See ya.